A father was walking peacefully with his son when a wealthy businessman drops a huge amount of money. The father, named Joey, tells his son Chris to do what he knows is necessary. The boy looks around, bends down, collects all that huge amount of money and informs the father that he won't be long in coming back. The honest little boy goes to the rich man and, despite him being rude, hands the businessman the money that had fallen. The rich man, named Richard, hangs up the phone to resolve this situation. Chris suggests that he be more careful next time, because the people in that neighborhood are not always honest. Richard congratulates the boy on his incredible attitude. Chris claims it's nothing and says goodbye. Before he leaves, the rich man asks him to wait. The child fears he has done something wrong. The businessman replies that, yes, he has done something, but something positive, so he rewards him with a bill from that pile. In any case, he refuses to take it. The man insists that it's a reward for him being very honest. Chris denies it. He justifies that he helped because it is the right thing to do, nothing else. The employee of the establishment sees that conversation and wonders if the table is for three. The businessman answers that they are not together, but lets the father and son choose a table first. The employee makes the two comfortable to enter, and then she will separate a table for both. The gentle boy asks for the best table, because today is his father's birthday. The woman assures that she will provide the best table for them. Changing the subject, Joey claims to need a favor from the restaurant's employee. Somewhat uncomfortably, he asks if there are any cheaper or more affordable options on the restaurant's menu. The father wonders this because he is low on cash. The waitress explains that in that establishment there are cheap and expensive meals, so he can rest easy. The humble man is relieved and heads for one of the tables. Inside the place, Joey comments to Chris that the decor of the restaurant is very nice. The well-behaved Chris is delighted with everything. At a certain moment, the employee named Amanda goes to the two and hands them the menu. Joey thanks her for her kindness and starts checking the available options on the menu. Amanda also makes herself available for any questions they may have. The sweet boy thanks her for the kindness. A little later, she is called so that the little Chris can place his order. The naive child points to a fish meal, one of the restaurant's specialties. Chris asks for 2, plus 2 soft drinks. The waitress notices Joey's uncomfortable expression. To avoid further embarrassment, the woman suggests that the boy order another option, perhaps one that takes less time to prepare. According to him, his father deserves it and it has been a long time since they have eaten anything tasty. Not daring to disappoint his son, the man demands that she only change one thing, 1 soda instead of 2. The boy agrees and Joey pleads with the woman to make it as simple as possible, as if he were sending her some kind of message. The waitress collects the menus and assures that in a few minutes she will show up with their order. Outside the restaurant, Richard, the rich businessman, follows the scene. A few minutes later, the waitress returns with 2 loaves of bread stuffed with ham and cheese. The innocent child doesn't notice what has been done and is happy that it came so quickly. The waitress wishes the man and his son a good appetite and, as usual, makes herself available for whatever they need. The poor father hints that he is not very hungry. The boy promises that he will eat, but first it has to be the father. Joey repeats that he's not very hungry, but Chris insists. The man argues that since it's Dad's birthday, he has to do whatever he's asking. The boy begs the father to change his mind and eat at least a little. The man alleges that seeing his son eating his favorite sandwich will be a wonderful gift. Outside, the businessman remains attentive to the conversation between those two. The love between both is very beautiful. Both are hungry, they haven't eaten for a whole day, yet one insists that the other eat. Speaking a little louder than Joey would like, the boy points out that it's been a while since they've eaten something like that, and he deserves it. Outside, the businessman seems uneasy about that occasion. Even though he has a lot of money, so far he has only ordered 1 drink. But Joey notices that something is wrong and he requests the son to wait there while he resolves a matter quickly. Embarrassed, he goes to the waitress and he still fears he won't be able to pay for those 2 breads plus the soda. He is honest and confesses that he has the money to pay, but if he does, he will have no way to pay for the bus home. Having said this, he wonders if it would be possible to pay half the amount today and half tomorrow. Meanwhile, the rich man gets up and goes to the table where little Chris is waiting for the return of the father. The man comments that he thought Chris was a good boy, but he has no idea how much effort his father is making to pay for that food he ordered. To the poor man, the woman explains that unfortunately she can't do much, because she is a mere employee. If she allows him to pay the rest another day, she might suffer the consequences. Alternatively, Joey offers to clean the dishes or the floor, anything commensurate with the expense of that request. Still, she can't do anything, because as she has explained, an employee can't make that kind of decision. The waitress doesn't understand why he didn't tell his son that he didn't have money for that snack. The businessman scolds the boy for not having the slightest idea of what his father suffers to get him there. Chris says the man doesn't understand, but to Richard he is a very selfish boy. The child justifies that the father always does this for him. The rich man doesn't understand. Chris explains that he wants today to be a very important date for his father. Joey responds to the employee that today is his birthday, so he didn't want his son to go through this kind of situation. The father praises his son for being very sweet, but because he is very young he still doesn't understand that their financial condition doesn't allow them to go to places like that. Even so, he decided to pretend so as not to cause any kind of trauma or make his son feel ashamed for not being able to give the father a happy day. In solidarity, she allows him to return to the table, enjoy a snack with Chris, and then they see how to resolve this situation. The poor man thanks her for her kindness and, very happy, returns to the table where the son is. Still in conversation with the businessman, the boy tells that it has been a long time since his father bought food for and he avoids eating or eats very little. When he said he didn't like the bread, he did it so that his father would eat it all this time. Everything he is doing until now is for his father to have a happy birthday. The businessman apologizes to the boy for judging him without fully understanding the story. He claims that from the outside the situation looked different. The boy replies that there is no problem. Richard then questions where Chris's mother is. The little boy replies that his mother hasn't been alive for 2 years. His father was very sad and lost the job because of this. The rich man asks if his father is currently working. According to the kid, Joey works with whatever is possible, cleaning cars, other people's houses. The businessman takes a deep breath and inquires, why didn't they get the money sooner? Chris says that it simply was not his money and it is not right to keep other people's belongings. The man thinks it is very nice that he has this understanding and asks if he learned this somewhere, perhaps in school. The poor boy explains that everything he knows is thanks to his father. Unfortunately, he has no money to buy school supplies, so he never went to school. The rich man stresses that this is a very delicate situation. At this moment, Joey returns and finds this conversation surprising. He wants to know if Chris is bothering the man. The businessman replies that it's nothing like that. The boy invites the father to sit next to him. Richard apologizes for intruding in both their lives, but he has learned that the boy is not going to school, which is worrying. Joey comments that it is not a matter of whether he wants to or not. The point is that at the moment he cannot afford the school supplies that are required. The man also questions if it is true that he is currently unemployed. As a way to help with some money, he asks if Joey would like to clean his car. The humble man accepts without a second thought. The man points out that he is out of money now, he could only pay a little later. Joey still accepts. In any case, he enjoys the pleasure of working. He believes that this is how we help each other. Money for him is a secondary issue. What satisfies him most is knowing that he is being useful to someone who is in need of a demand. The businessman now understands where the young man's values and principles came from. Joey recognizes that through the difficulties they experience, it is possible to teach his son what is most important in life. The businessman couldn't agree more, and that's exactly why he's going to give not just a bill, but all that money that's in his pocket. Joey refuses to take it all. The man insists. Moreover, he will pay for Chris' entire education. Since it involves his son, the man accepts and comments that Richard seems like an angel that has appeared in their lives. Richard then hands over all that money to the humble man, but he didn't stop there. He shouts for the waitress, who immediately appears. The businessman asks her to serve those two with whatever they want, because he will pay for absolutely everything. The woman is very happy. She will get the menu and make the three of them comfortable in the meantime. The poor but honest man can't contain his excitement and asks if it would be possible to give Richard a hug, permission granted by him, of course. Obviously, having money is important. However, nothing is more important and precious than honesty. It is our attitudes and our character that make us human, never forget that. May God bless you and all your family.